Hi guys, so today I'm going to share with you how to write and self-publish your own book. And I am by no means an expert, but I self-published a novel and 3 kids' books last year, so I thought I might as well share the process that I went through and let you know that anyone can do it. It's a step-by-step, very simple, doable process. It can take you a month or a few months or a year or even a weekend if you want to do it. The timing is totally up to you. And so this is what it ended up looking like. The novel comes in paperback. This one is 260 pages, and you could have an illustrated cover and spine, and the text is the size that you choose. You know, you really set it up in your own way. And then the kids' books have the illustrated pictures if you want to do that, and front and back illustrated covers. And then you can have the font a bit larger. I'm going to share with you just how I made all of this happen, and it's actually really cool to have the ideas in your mind and to have this story that you want to share or that creative side that you want to put out there, and then to hold it in your hands. It was just such a great feeling to actually have that book come in the mail. The first step is to create the content. And this is one of the most challenging parts because we'll spend a lot of time talking about writing a book, dreaming about writing a book, researching about writing a book, everything except writing the actual book. If you are a perfectionist, you probably struggle with procrastination. Keep in mind it's either perfect or it's done. You want a quality product, but you actually do want it finished as well. Part of this content piece is to quiet your inner critic. Just let yourself let go. One trick that I did was to think of a safe person and imagine that they're the ones that are sitting in front of you and listening, letting it free flow, and that it can have mistakes and you can edit it later. Be in that place of letting go and putting one word in front of the other. Another thing to keep in mind is Viktor Frankl's meaning triangle. Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and he came up with Logotherapy. So in his meaning triangle, he talks about creativity as us sending our message and sharing our own inner talents with the world and our environment. The other part of the triangle is about experiencing, and that is taking in and listening to our environment, information from our relationships. And then the final point, the third point of the triangle, is changing our attitude, really impacting the consequences in your life. It can just make such a difference around your mindset. Going to that creativity piece, this is what we're trying to tap into. And Anne Rice talks about go to where the pain is, go to where the pleasure is. Tim Ferriss says go to where the anger is. Tune into yourself and start with your feelings. You can start with the 8 basic feelings: anger, pain, fear, shame, guilt, joy, passion, love, and really see what feeling moves you. Let it flow from there. Once you get your content down, which takes a little while, then you have a choice. You can format it yourself, which you'd go on kdp.com, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. And you have other options, of course, but again, this is the way that I did it. You have your Amazon account. I would create another Amazon account so that it is not linked to your own personal stuff. And then it walks you step by step in that process of creating your own book. It used to be called Create Space, if some of you have heard of that. I would personally recommend creating your own ISBN. You can go and do that through myidentifiers.com, and that is through the company called Bowker, B-O-W-K-E-R, and you can buy your ISBN. KDP offers to create the ISBN for you, but the only downside with that is that if you ever want your books published through another source or through Barnes & Noble, you want it in the bookstore or something, you have to have an outside ISBN, not KDP. It's an option. I mean, you can do either way, but it's just something that I found out, and just to give you that option. Once you've created your Amazon account, which you most likely have, but let's say you create a new one to do this, and then you go step by step through the process. It walks you right through it. You put the title in there. the size of the book that you want to do, pick the color of the pages that you want on there. KDP offers templates to create the cover. If you don't have your own illustration or your own cover that's already created, KDP offers that, and it lists in there the formats are. If you do also have your own cover and you want to just make sure that it's in the right format, and it's step by step in there. It's very self-explanatory, and they make it very user-friendly for you to do that. You set your own price as well, and selecting if you want to do it in ebook format, paper book format, or both, and you do that all on there. I highly recommend, before you actually hit publish, to order some proof copies. This is the copy that you can go in and see it in your hands and see if the formatting is right, if the pages are a little off. For me, when I went through my novel, I went through it a ton of times, and I gave it to several people to look over and proofread, so it had other eyes on it. So when you get the proof in the mail, it'll come with this on here. It says not for resale. And just having it in my hands and being able to look at it right here written in front of me. I don't know if you can see this because I did it in pencil. It's hard to see, but I did so many more edits, and this was after several proofs that were sent in the mail, but so many edits way after it had already had my eyes on it and other people's eyes on it many times. I highly recommend for you to get the proof and to do your edits, just doing that and then going over it again, pen to paper like that, versus only doing it on the screen, and then to rewrite it in your document in the computer. So the next thing to keep in mind is if you do not want to do the formatting and illustrations on your own, you can hire someone. So the way I did it was I went on Upwork. It's an app or a website. You can go on either one. And I hired independent contractors on there. I hired an illustrator, a couple of people to do the formatting. They were graphic designers to do the ebook formatting in particular. That was very challenging for me as far as the kids book, because I know nothing about InDesign, and Photoshop to me seems like a different language, even though it seems like it could be so simple. You set your own price, you can quote that. I also hired someone on there to be a voice actor for my novel. So she ended up recording the audio version for my novel that is now on Audible. The website that you would create your audio version of your book would be ACX, and it stands for Audiobook Creation Exchange, acx.com. It's very self-explanatory. It's all connected through Amazon, so you would use your same Amazon username and password, log in through there, and then on both KDP and on ACX, you can see the status and the reports of how many people purchased your books. On the KDP website, there are options to market your book. So there are millions of books out there. They have these options where you can select your keywords and pay for different packages so people can actually find your books if they're searching for a certain genre or the topic of your book, versus if they only just know your name and the actual title of your book, then of course they're going to find you that way too. So this is my book on KDP. These are my books on Amazon, so you can see what it looks like. And this is my novel on Audible, so you can get an idea of what that looks like. If you end up wanting to hire someone to do the artwork for your cover, I went through 99designs.com. And I really liked it because what I did was I shared the synopsis of my novel. Many different designers ended up posting what they would propose as far as a cover, and I gave them ideas, and I was able to adjust and say I want it to look like this, or I like this style, this is what I have in mind, and then selecting one of them. I think it was around a couple $100. I could be wrong. It was now a couple years ago, so I'm trying to remember the price on that. I could be off. And that's another option that you can consider doing. But again, you can create your own cover. Very simple. Okay, so that's it for today. Steps as far as self-publishing your own book if you want to go that option. Of course, there is so much more information about each of the things that I described today, but I just wanted to condense it into a simple video so that if you wanted an overall view of what the self-publishing process looks like and some ideas, hopefully this is a good start. Good luck on your writing, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.